All right. Oh, see if I can get anything special here. No.
No Facebook.
Hey, Facebook, what's going on? Sorry, guys, it's just me today. Just me. No one else is going to be here today but me. I believe YouTube, you guys should be queuing in for a video in just a few moments. If not, you're already there. So I'm ready to start this. This episode was amazing. There's nothing else to say, but I loved it. We got so many answers on this episode. Like, for example, well, we did get to find out what happened with the vase, what happened with the vault, where it all came from, how it all started, how we got to even have that moment where the vault actually became what it became, which is pretty cool. I loved it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure I check out you guys inside of the chat right now. So let me see. Let me see. Uh-oh. Sorry, this is all me. I'm sorry. I love this, guys. I'm just really excited. This is all me. I can't find the chat. I can't find the video, actually, which is weird. I know it's up. It's a live feed, damn it! Well, anyway, going back to it, bet you I can find it on my phone. This is horrible. Let me see. Nope, nope, nope. I've got an invite to go live. What the hell? Let me see. You guys are gonna have to bear with me. I'm still looking for it. No, I get like DJ stuff and everything else. No, this is killing me here.
Well, you're on YouTube, bro.
Ah, well, alright, I'm on YouTube. I guess I can't see this stuff, so I'm going to try to do it another way just so I can at least see what you guys are talking about in the chat. Let me see. Let me drop my volume, because that's always the thing. It's going to come up loud as hell. Yeah, I see it. Alright, so let me see what's in the chat. Oh, hey, Charles. Alright, I got Charles, I got Ryan. What's up, you two? How are you guys doing? It's glad to see you guys actually here. I'm able to converse with you guys a little bit. Other people will join us, but this episode was amazing. Like I said, we got a lot accomplished here on this episode. It is just me. Sorry, guys. I know you expected some other guest at least or something else, but it's going to be me. It's going to be a short, quicker episode for us to at least break down everything today. It's going to be about roughly 30 minutes. You guys will be fine with 30 minutes. Trust me, you'll love it. Now I've got everything here. My producer helped me out. Thank you so much. He's a great guy. Great guy. Better Hoofian than I am, truly. But so this episode, we did get to see, well, the big reveal right off the bat. It starts off and it says, a long time ago. So they're not giving us anything as far as time, and they're playing with it, and it's smart, because later as we find out, we're dealing with a virtual world, and we don't know when that virtual world even started. So it's really interesting and smart the way Moffat chooses to play with us on this episode and give us just that little bump, a little nod, and lets us know, well, it's a long time ago, but I won't tell you when. But the only problem with not telling us when it came to the long time ago, is we don't know exactly when Missy was sentenced, because we're trying to figure out when did this come to play. We know that it's after the 2015 Christmas special, because Nordal refers to the doctor and tells him, well, I followed you all the way from Beryllium. So we knew that, okay, this is after the 2015 Christmas special, but is it before the 2016 Christmas special? It has to be. And if it is before the 2016 special, then why wasn't there a reference to Nordal, the Vault, or anything during Return of Dr. Mysterio? So it's kind of playing with it, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, maybe. It may be the answer as to why. I don't know. If you guys got any suggestions or try to figure that out while we're still just going over the episode, trust me, I will appreciate it. Did you guys happen a few things that were cool that we did notice? The Vault actually has a real name, and it's the Quantum Fold, the Quantum Fold Chamber. which makes sense because what it's doing is folding time upon itself in this kind of safe. So this way, Missy is there and being stuck in there for 1,000 years, according to what the doctor said. He promises to be there for about 1,000 years, which is cool. I mean, I'm down for that. I like that. It gives us a time frame to play with. But with that whole 1,000 years, I've got to wonder about how long is Missy going to stay in there? Because from what I see and what we read, she's making an appearance on the 8th episode. Next one is going to be the 7th, but on the 8th episode, she makes an appearance. And we know John Sims is coming back as his master character. So how does all of this relate as far as her making an appearance in episode 8? Are we going to go through more flashbacks, or are we going to actually get to see her? And if she's going to be outside of the vault, because the doctor did say at the end, I need your help. If I need your help, will you be there? You did say you were my friend, which was very, very poignant. It was one of the great moments between the Doctor and another Time Lord that we never usually get to see, the dichotomy between the two. Remember, they grew up as kids, and they were friends, they were close. So to see that moment, for them to share that level of camaraderie and recognize that there is more between them besides being enemies, it's a great, great thing to see. Oh, hey, Laurent. Underwood, glad you're here. Glad you're here. Join in on discussion. We're just breaking down Doctor Who right now as it talks, as it happens. And that's right, Charles. The Doctor does refuse to kill. And that was very interesting when he stood there and he said, okay, well, I have to do what I'm pretty much told to do. As far as a Time Lord, I'm being commissioned to kill another Time Lord. I don't kill. He doesn't kill if he doesn't have to, because as they looked up his fatality record, that thing just kept counting. He kept counting. It broke the counter because, well, he has pretty much committed genocide, at least concerning the Time War. But now that didn't really happen since we've turned time back, and now Gallifrey is kind of like stuck in this one moment in time. So, I mean, that's something to think about. What's up, Robert? What's up, Robert? Glad you're here. We can go ahead and discuss Doctor Who. If you haven't seen it yet, trust me, you're going to get a lot out of this episode. But also, which is pretty cool, Moffat wrote this episode. So we know that, well, the rules that apply to the Doctor always apply to Moffat. So rule number 1 is the Doctor lies, which means rule number 1, Moffat lies. And we definitely got lied to right off the bat, because we don't know, ultimately, if you guys haven't seen it, spoilers, it was all in a virtual world. Well, we don't know when the virtual world actually started. And that was something Moffat liked to play with us, not giving us the truth as to when it actually happened. We know the Doctor's still blind. We definitely do. Shout out, great call on that, Ryan. We definitely know the Doctor's blind. We were able to see that from the beginning of the episode all the way until the end. He still really didn't tell Bill. That was kind of interesting. He even says, well, Bill, are you there? And everything like that, but yet she didn't figure it all out. But with this, I've got to ask a question, and I want to know if you guys actually noticed it too. I've got to figure out, how did Missy get away from the Daleks? Because that's the last time we saw her. She was surrounded by the Daleks, and she was kind of, dancing, because, she knows she's going to get out, but I just want to know how. I just want to know how she got out, and then yet got caught by these guys, who apparently aren't even Gallifreyan, but they're something. And that's another question. Who are they, and what gives them the authority to be able to, commission the Doctor to actually kill another Gallifreyan? Like, hey, we have to pick someone, and you're the best choice. Why? Like, what will be the point? I would love to know, like, well, where does this weigh out, and who are these people? Because they didn't give us that answer, and they haven't really given it yet, but we know that this is actually going to be like a secret, stealthy two-parter. Next episode is, I think, what is it called? Let me see. Gotta look for it. Yes. Pyramid at the End of the World. And Moffat did great by sneaking in a stealthy little two-parter. He said he's been wanting to do it for years. So this was a big one for him. He loved it. He loves doing it. And we'll get to find out ultimately, well, beyond what is the monks' motive for doing what they're doing. Like, we know how they can do it. Apparently now, Doctor explained it all. But Why? What was their motive? Usually, like when we have a monster or something, they have a reason as to why, and their reasoning is what makes them, which humanizes them. So this way, we're not looking at them as monsters close to the end. We're like, dang, well, they kind of had to do it. So we need to know exactly why these monsters are doing it. And that's a good point. What if they are like anti-Time Lords? I'd be interested. If they are like anti-Time Lords and their ability, their whole reasoning is to kill, there would be a problem. Because if they were anti-Time Lords, then they would have wanted to kill the Doctor from the beginning. Not, hey, we're calling you here because we need you to kill Missy and then put her in the safe and watch her for 1,000 years. So this way it kind of stops her from regenerating and just keeps her there for 1,000 years. They would have wanted to kill the Doctor too, I would think. I mean, anti means you're not. So you want to kill. I would hope so, at least. But what do you think? I mean, let me know. Let me know. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Now, you said what's she do? When you're saying what's she do in your comments, are you speaking of Missy? When you say what's she do, Ryan? Because if you're asking, well, what's she do? Missy's dangerous. She's worse than the Doctor, apparently. She is willing to kill people, and she wants to commit genocide. She tried to freaking kill all of Gallifrey so many times. Drums banging, etc., etc. Trust me, she's bad news. Let me see here. What's still happening in the chat? What was those mummy try to get to the Doctor? Oh, the mummy. Those are monks. Those are monks, and we don't know as to why they're doing it, and that's why I'm saying we'll find out in the next episode as to why they're doing all of this. We just know that they're an ancient race from space. Of course, they're aliens, and they have advanced technology. And with that advanced technology, the Doctor said it himself, they want to take over Earth, and they're running a simulation. So it became the big question of, well, what's real, what isn't? It's the big question of the entire episode. When did the simulation start? Was it when the Doctor landed? Was it when the Doctor put on the things and took away some of his life, as he said? Is that when it happened, so he could see again? When exactly did the VR simulation begin? Because Nardal was thinking about, like, okay, maybe it even started when I plugged in the coordinates to go to the Vatican. Maybe that's when it happened. Or did it happen when I landed in the Vatican? We don't know, but Nardal seems to actually figure out, and when he did, that's when they got rid of him. Because now he knows that he's a simulation. So, he's gone. Bill figures out she's a simulation, they get rid of her. And then the Doctor, of course, figures out he's a simulation, but he's much smarter than everyone else, so he figured out a way to email himself. And I gotta say, I love that part. Moffat's really smart for that. He pretty much emails himself, sends an email over and says, hey, I need you to please save them. Dear Doctor, please save them. The Doctor. Like, that's genius. And he understands everything that's happening because he was able to see it all. It was all recorded. So it's thinking outside of the box, which makes it pretty dope. I love that. Ryan, Missy is the Doctor's arch enemy called the Master. Yes, that is correct. All right, Ryan. Missy is a character called the Master. Of course, as you know, Time Lords can regenerate, and then we found out even a little bit later that even with regenerating, sometimes you have the ability to choose what you regenerate to. The Doctor was offered that when he became the War Doctor for that time. So with that being the case, of course, what else would you do if you're trying to hide out because now your face is known? You've been Saxton, which is like a prime minister. He was a prime minister of Europe, and that was a big issue, and then trying to take over all of the world and everything. People will remember your face. So he can't show back up with that same old face, so he makes a change. He makes a drastic change and chooses to become a woman, which kind of cancels the whole worry and thing that everyone said, oh, the Doctor can't be a woman, that's impossible. He was born a man, he'll always be a man. Gender and sex is fluid for the Doctor, it doesn't really matter. So the Doctor ends up, the Master shows us that that's possible by regenerating into a female. But the Master also does a lot of other things that are underhanded, cross species with snakes and everything for like one of the TV movies. So the Master does a lot when it comes to regeneration or sneaky ways to continue to live. And this was one, definitely for sure. I mean, Missy begs the Doctor to live. Hey, what's up, Ranger Live Chat? Shout out to you. I see you out there. Literally begs the Doctor, like, I'm your friend. Remember, we're friends, and you wouldn't kill, and I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Missy knows that this was the moment that, well, hey, you know what? You can die. And with that being the case, what they do, they make that change. Oh, what's up, Jimmy? Hey, shout out to Jimmy. Jimmy's the guy I grew up with. So, miss you too, man. Hey, Ash. Oh my gosh, everybody's just coming into the room. Thank you guys. I appreciate it very much, especially on my solo journey here. I'm manning the TARDIS all by myself today. I am the Doctor. That's the first black Doctor, so check that out. That's dope. But, so, with that being the case, it's kind of interesting to know that the Master figured it out way before the Doctor, and it's perfectly fine with it. Let me see. I figured if the Doctor regenerates into a female, I want her to be played by Maggie Smith, who played McGonagall from Harry Potter. That would be cool. Maggie Smith playing as a Doctor, that would be cool, but I'm going to be honest, I feel Maggie Smith is too old. Too old to play any level of a Doctor, in my opinion. Yes, Capaldi is older, and yes, Pertwee was older. I get that, but still, man, that's way too old. And so that just messed up everything. What I will say, guys, while we are shooting this and everything's going on, remember, we do have the Snapchat option. I'm one guy trying to read everything, and so it does get tough. If you want your comment to pop up ahead of everyone else's, go ahead and use that Super Chat feature. Because when you use Super Chat, it pops up ahead of anyone else's. I'll be able to read it, and I'll be able to make sure I see what you said. It also helps support us, so it's always a great thing to do. Yeah, that's right. I am grounded from having a co-host. Apparently, I did something way too bad, and so now it's going to be just me for just this one episode, though. Don't worry, guys. You guys won't be bored. It's pretty still interesting. Now, going back into the episode itself, blow up the building. I don't know why that one guy was trying to blow up the building. It was just part of a simulation. And now, remember, the Doctor did say, with the simulation, it's simulating pretty much everyone that exists in the world. So somewhere in the world, there was someone doing like this mass suicide that they did, and they were counting it down and doing all that. So somewhere in the world, there was something happening just like that. And what they're doing is projecting that simulation to see what's happening there in that one location. That's something they wanted to research, so that's why it was there. So I don't know why, but they all wanted to commit suicide together. It was weird. He didn't even give them an answer, so how are we ever going to know? But let me see. Something that crossed my mind, having not to be the Doctor. Yeah, see, I think I was right about, she's getting old. Yeah, I know, I said Snapchat. I changed it and said, Super Chat after. But back to the episode itself, there were other cool things that I did notice. Maybe, I don't know if you guys did or didn't. But besides the reveal of the safe, of the vault, and knowing that for sure it is Missy in it, and knowing as to why, I mean, she's just, it's Missy. It's not a big shock. They point out that, well, the Doctor dated a pope, and that pope was female. Now, truth be told, if you go back onto that Pope Benedict, it's a bad pope, apparently. And he was actually pope twice. Wasn't a female, though, but they said he did a lot of bad stuff. He was first appointed pope when he was about 20, and then after that, they took the position away from him. And then years later, because it was October of 1032, he was first pope. Then, all right, no more. You can't do that anymore. You're a horrible person. You're 20 years old. You don't know what you're doing. It's too much power, apparently. Then they come back to him in July of 1048 and say, hey, we need a pope. You want to do it again. And they do it again, and they say both times were horrible times as pope. It was so bad that they do have recordings of the history, and I think that's where they kind of hint to the whole the hidden library that everyone always hears about with the Vatican that we don't know is true. They say that story goes that hidden library in the Vatican is all because of Pope Benedict and all the things that he's done has been recorded. They say like lascivious acts. I mean, just horrible stuff. I'm talking about sex, pillaging, rape, blah blah. Anything bad you can pretty much think of, he did while he was reigning as Pope. And so they have it all recorded and locked down. He has some text that he's written that is like blasphemous. So they have it hidden away somewhere. And that would make sense. That's why I guess they have it protected by, of course, that Pope. But there were hints and stories that Pope, at some time when they did get rid of him, they replaced him with a female. And that's where they're putting both of those stories together. And they're saying, oh, well, the Pope's dating. At one time, the Pope dated the doctor. And that's why it's like, oh, you're old flame. But that's just, I get it. I get it. That was smart. That was quick. I do love how they said that the people that read the truth, the Veritas, they committed suicide. And it's called the Veritas, which means the truth, because they let you know, essentially, you are a program. You're just VR. And since you were VR, what happens to you? Okay, once you figure it out and you become sentient and you're pointing it all out, well, you can tell everyone else in the program. They'll all start to figure out, and then there's a bigger problem. So they have to get rid of you. That's what those monks were doing, getting rid of people, deleting them. So those monks, once they read and knew the truth, well, they had to leave. And I'm wondering, with that being the case, it's kind of like, were we taking a hint from the Matrix? Red pill, blue pill. Oh, now that you figure out you're in the Matrix, they got to get rid of you. It's the same thing. We did it right here. So I like Moffat playing with his own version of the Matrix here in this episode. It was good. It worked out well. I love the idea of the shadow test, pointing that out. That was pretty cool. I've got to ask, though, what do you guys think when the doctor said, now that I've gained my sight, I may lose some things. I may lose a regeneration. I may die in 20 minutes. I don't know, blah, blah. How do you think this will affect him? And then ultimately, will it actually affect him because it was all fake? It was all VR. It was like a VR doctor. I guess, well, that's a dumb question then. It won't affect him because he's a VR doctor. It doesn't even matter. So, I don't know. It's so many questions. When the doctor went through his whole existential debate of, well, what is existence? When you actually do know something, or is it when you figure out that what you are in maybe isn't something at all? Like, that VR doctor had a literal existential crisis and freaked out over, well, am I real? Is this real? And if it isn't real, then what am I? And to what extent do I exist? But then he got over it pretty quick and realized, oh, well, I'm just a program. The real one's out there. Let me go ahead and help him. Nonetheless, I am the doctor, which was still cool. Because I love when he said it. He was like, okay, well, being a program, still dealing with this. Oh, no, I'm not fake. I'm the doctor. And they're like, but you're fake, so you can't be the doctor. Doesn't mean I'm not the doctor. I'm a simulation. I'm too good of a simulation. And then, sure enough, he emails himself. And with emailing himself, boom, there he gets the answer. And I loved it. Let me see here. What are we having in the chat? What? No, the president didn't have Trump's hair. I think the BBC and everyone else is just never going to acknowledge the fact that Trump became president. Pretty much in our world and in Doctor Who's world, it will never happen. And did that guy kill himself? The one that was sent the message to somebody, huh? Oh, that guy that broke open a door and everything. I think he just ran through a portal and that was it. I think that was it. I think actually he figured out he was part of the program. So most likely he probably did kill himself. I mean, that is what happens, right? You kill yourself when you find out you're part of the program. And that's pretty much what happens to you. But with this happening, as far as this episode, the big takeaways we still have are Missy. And, well, what did she do? how did she end up getting caught by them? How did she get away from Daleks? And how are we going to see her in 2 episodes from now? How is her connection with Sims going to connect as far as that master, that version? Because we know he's coming. So what's going on there? We also got to find out. Nardal is not dead. I see you, Charles, right? No, he's not dead. Actually, Nardal, that was a VR version of Nardal. The real Nardal is possibly there at the college or on the TARDIS or something. Remember, we found out at the end that it was all VR, and the VR doctor was the last one to live before he got deleted too, and he sent the email of the recording of the glasses right over to the real doctor. The real doctor watched it all and then called Bill and said, Bill, what are you doing? Let's get this done. You know? So it was a great episode, written well. Moffat lied to us from the beginning, and I gotta say, I do enjoy when Moffat lies to us, because when he tells us the truth, it becomes so much better than anything you could have imagined. So it was a great episode, written well. I like some hits of the history. That was cool. I asked already about the flashbacks. When did it take place? We still don't really know when that did happen, because Moffat lies. We still need to know about John Sims and how his master is going to show up. We know Missy's going to be there in episode 8. Let me see. Man, my gosh, there was so much that happened in this episode that it's hard to cover within just a short amount of time. Are there any questions from you guys? Do you guys have any questions I can probably answer and help you out with, just so you can get a grip on the episode? I do suggest watching the episode over again. It's a really good episode. Written well, complete. We even had the question of, well, hold on, what are these monks? And what are they doing? What's their ultimate plan? We got it all answered in just a short monologue from the doctor. Yes, the doctor's still blind. We need to figure out if he's going to be able to see, but he does need to head out somewhere, I don't know where, and find these monks. Because, yes, it's a simulation. We don't know if it actually happens in the Vatican where they're all set up, or if they're set up somewhere else. I mean, the episode is called, what is it? The Pyramid at the End of the World. So, I mean, I don't know if they're going to still have to go off to Europe, and then they're going to go to the Louvre, I guess. That's a pyramid that we have in modern age, or if they're going to go all the way to Egypt. I don't know. But it's called The Pyramid at the End of the World, and it's going to be a great 2-parter, so I want to know. Let me see. I enjoyed the episode today pretty good as well. Yeah, honestly, if I had to give it a rating, this episode, I'd say I'm going to give it out of Sonic Screwdriver's 5 being the highest, I'm going to give it 4 Sonic Screwdrivers, possibly even 5. This was a good episode, and I feel it was scarier than last week's. The moment where Capaldi's walking through the corridor and he can kind of see, so you see these figures, you know they're weird, they look kind of like Davros as far as with the eyes and everything like that. You're walking around, you're seeing them coming for him, and it's like vision is coming and going, and they're getting closer. It just, that itself gives you chills, and it was good. Just for that one moment, it was great. But trying to find out more and more, definitely. So I would say 5 out of 5. Ryan still agrees with me, 5 out of 5. Who created the simulation? Well, from what I understand, the simulation was created by what we're calling the monks. That's what they even called them on the episode. So I would say the monks, those guys that are all the mummy-looking kind of guys with the red cloaks, they're called monks. So those monks actually created the simulation. The doctor said also, well, imagine if, for example, Nardal's making tea. That's a good one. If indeed they did create the simulation, they're doing it because they want to take over the Earth, and they're running the simulation so they can know how it's going to work. What people they're going to have to pay attention to and take out before they go ahead and launch everything and take over. So that's what they're doing. So once you figure out, I'm a simulation, so great. In the simulation, that means this is someone we got to take out before we take over. So let's take them out in the real world. And then after that, boom, you won't have a problem. So that's what makes it great. This was Live from Gallifrey. I'm Daniel. You can always check us out here right on that hashtag show. We're here every Saturday that Doctor Who airs, roughly about 7 o'clock or 7:30, it depends. And you can make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. We're at that 10,000, but we want to get even to another 10,000. Actually, truth be told, 100,000, even more. Share this video with your friends. Let them know that we're out here. Let them know that we're talking about Doctor Who. You have Whovian friends that usually have no one to talk to, no one to find out what's going on. Share it with them. Let them see it. Find out their opinions. And if you are one of those friends and you've watched, subscribe and comment. Tell me where I went wrong so this way I won't do it again. Because, I mean, I'm not perfect, but I like to think I know a lot about Doctor Who. So, I mean, if there's anything that you guys want to have questions about for this episode, include them in the comments. Trust me, I'll be paying attention. I will comment back to you. So, like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget, next time you see us on anything, use that super chat feature. You will be seeing coming up next week, well, actually Monday, we'll be airing our news feed where we give you everything trending in geek pop culture, so you'll be able to see what's happening there. And I'm Daniel. You can find me on any bit of social media as @TheRealJ_Rome. It's been great. This is Live from Gallifrey. Subscribe, 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 so you can keep update to everything trending in geek pop culture. Good night, guys.